Welcome to the third week of Preptober. Today is Monday, October 21st for you and Friday, October 18th for me. So I did a day in the life, and I know before I'd started out with a week in the life and then I did 3 days in the life. It's just a lot of filming, so I've condensed it down. We've done one day in the life. That one day is today, Friday, October 18th. So let's go ahead and get started with this vlog. I'm Lisa, and welcome to my Cozy Mystery AuthorTube channel, where we talk about all things related to cozy mystery writing. So if this sounds like you or something you might be interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. I post new videos every Monday, and I do extra videos all the time because I just can't help myself. So make sure to hit the bell so you get notifications when new videos go live, which brings me to my first thing. I just have 2 announcements, and the first one is this Wednesday, I will be doing another book summary, and thank you to Ryan who suggested it. It is Nancy Cohen's Writing the Cozy Mystery, which is pretty much the only book out there on how to write a cozy mystery on Amazon. So that's the book that we will be going through. Just like before, I will share all of my notes with you. If you show up live, we can chat, talk about stuff, and yeah, the webinar replay will also be available, but make sure to RSVP if you want those slides as we go through the entire webinar. So that is number 1. Number 2 is I have something really awesome for you. So I don't know if anyone got the email, and this is obviously, it's still this week for me, Wednesday, October 16th, NaNoWriMo headquarters sent out an email saying, name your project. And I don't know about you, even though I've been planning for Preptober and my book, and I've been plotting, I did kind of freak out. I was like, oh my God, this is so soon. I don't know if I'm ready. Like, I don't have my entire outline done yet. And so I made a huge list of all the things that I needed to do. And then yesterday, on Thursday, I, no joke, got so overwhelmed by my list, I did nothing. That's not true. I did watch the entire season of Psych, like season 5 on Amazon Prime. And then all of a sudden, if you follow me on Insta Stories, I was like, I don't know how. It's 5:30 and I've done nothing today. So that was kind of my day. So that's why today I started out co-working with Camila to make sure I did not have a repeat of yesterday. And we just split up. So it's about noon right now. I am back home, as you can see, and she's coming back over at 5, and we're going to bake and watch a movie. So I have a good 6 hours now to get some more work done. And what I thought I could do is 2 things. I'm going to show you exactly how I am using my plot and setting that up into a Google document. So if you saw on my other channel on Lisa London, I had done a comparison between Scrivener and Vellum and Ulysses, because those are like the 3 big main writing tools for writing your book. And actually, I was probably wrong. Vellum really isn't a writing tool. It's more for after the fact, just formatting your book and publishing it. So it's really, it comes down to Scrivener versus Ulysses. Now, I know a lot of people use Microsoft Word. I think Microsoft Word is the devil, and nothing ever goes right. The formatting's all wrong. I have version control issues. Plus, it's like old school. Like, it's a document on your computer. And so I've used the Microsoft Online services too. Those I've had bad luck with as well. So If you want to know the short story, I've decided not to use any of those. No Snot Scrivener, yet Ulysses, nor Microsoft Word for this time around. Instead, I'm going to be using Google Docs. So I'm going to flip my screen and share with you and show you exactly how I'm using that in case you want to set up your Google documents the same way. All right, the first step is to open up Gmail, or at least that's how I start, because I have a couple different Gmail accounts, like Lisa at Pretty Fabulous and Lisa at, as you'll see over here, we're in Lisa at lisalatte.com. Now, once you're in there, you'll go to the left, you'll see this Google Apps icon, which is basically just 9 dots in a grid. You're going to click on that once, and then you'll see all of the Google tools, and we just want to open up Drive. You could open Docs right away, but I like to open up Drive so I know where my files are going to be placed. And as you can see, this is the first time I'm using this, so I can show you from scratch. So over here on the left, we are going to go ahead and say Google Docs. Now, I never use Google Sheets, even when I use a spreadsheet. So this is going to be, I'm just going to call this my outline. Whoops. And that has nothing to do with that. So I'm just going to paste this. And we're going to change this to landscape. There we go. And I'm going to change all the margins to 0.5. Okay, so this is really because I'm not sharing my story ideas for this project. I'm going to kind of keep everything secret. So this is the Cinderella outline that I wrote. So if you look here, you can see I have the inciting incident. I have plot point 1, and then I have all of my scenes inside of here, plot point, pinch point 1, etc. So these are crossed out, have a strike through because I already wrote them. So that's kind of how I track myself when I am actually drafting my novel as I go. So this entire template is already inside of the Plot Your First Book course, which I will share more details with you about that after I'm done with this little Google Drive demo. All right, so how do I set up my draft document? So I'm going to go File, over here, again, another Google Doc, and I am going to go ahead and call this my Nano Rough Draft. And over here, again, I'm going to change the margins because I'm just looking at this. I'm going to make sure it's portrait. I just don't like big margins. That's just my personal preference. All right, so I am going to call this book title Secret Project. And I'm going to go over here up to styles where it says normal text, and I'm going to make this the title. Then I know that I am going to need to create sections so I can easily jump to them in my manuscript. So I know I have inciting incident, and I will say scene 1. And then I know I have inciting incident, scene 2. So if I go back to my outline, I have scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, and scene 4. So I know I have 4 over there. So I could just go ahead and copy and paste this, 3, 4. Now I want to be able to jump to these pretty easily. And so I am going to make these headers. And when I do that, over here on the left, the document outline, that means if I want to jump to a section, I could jump to section 3. I can jump back to the title. I can jump back to scene 1. Or scene 2. Now I know some people set up chapters like chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. That seems crazy town to me because I don't know how you would ever remember what you wrote in chapter 1 versus chapter 25 versus chapter 32. So for me, this helps me because then I know when I go back to revise and edit or make any changes or check on something, I can easily jump to it because my outline matches my rough draft. So as you can see, we'll just keep going. So if I go over here to the outline, I know plot point 1 has 1, 2, 3 scenes. So I will simply go ahead and do another thing. Oops, that's my alarm. Plot point 1, plot point 2, and plot point 3. And so same thing, I'm going to go ahead and make these headers. Now, when I go to actually write the text inside of here, I want to make sure this just says normal text. And this is my first scene of the inciting incident. So that's basically how I use Google Docs. Now, if you want to change the formatting within here, within your draft, so let's say I want to make sure, so you'll see this is the second line. This is single space. You can actually change this however you want up here, just like you normally would. Line spacing, I could make this double if I want. I could also add spaces before and after paragraphs. I could go ahead and I could change this to bold, italic, underline, strike through, all of that good stuff. And then you can change the fonts too if you don't like that font. Now you are limited. It doesn't have as many fonts as, say, Microsoft Word, but again, it doesn't have as many problems as Microsoft Word in my opinion. And if you have Grammarly already set up like I do over here, then you will just autocorrect or make suggestions, I guess I should say, as you go through. It won't autocorrect for you. It will give you the choice to do so. So that's how I use Google Docs.